Alright, so we've been talking a lot lately about bad behaviors, disrespectful behaviors of teenagers, and how to turn all that around. So what I'm about to do today, I'm about to share with you one of the easiest to implement strategies into turning around disrespectful behaviors, bad behaviors, and how to get them paying attention and being more respectful. Now this is a strategy that is so easy to implement, you can do it today. I teach this to my parents and my educators that I train in seminars. And listen, this is so easy. Okay, I can't wait to get this to you. It is the power of positive praise. So what that means is we recognize our youth and our teenagers for the things that they tend to do particularly well. So here's how that works. Maybe they chose to not watch TV that night, and maybe they chose to study for their test the next day. Or maybe they took on a challenge and they thought their way through a problem really well. So we recognize them for the things that they do well or the things that they put a lot of effort into. So, the power of positive praise. Now this is so extremely effective. Even Time Magazine did an article last year where they published a report on how young people in particular would prefer positive praise for something that they did well as opposed to drugs, sex, or money. Wow. Now here's the key. When I'm doing my seminars, I get a lot of parents and educators that try and challenge me and say, well, you know, Jared, we try that, you know, we do it all the time, but it never works like you say it works. It never gives us the results that you're telling us that it should. And almost 100% of the time, I can pinpoint exactly why it doesn't work for them. Here it is. You ready? Usually, the way that some of these parents and educators do it, they'll give them maybe 1 or 2 points of positive praise, but then they'll follow it up with 30 different things or 20 minutes worth of a lecture or criticisms on things that they don't do well and the things that they wish they would improve upon and do better. This is the whole key. If you're going to give your kids positive praise and actually have the strategy work where they're paying attention and focusing more on being respectful and more mature, you cannot do it by following it up with a bunch of criticisms. Here's the thing. One of the things that teenagers and young people are most afraid of are lectures and criticisms from their parents and educators. And unfortunately, parents get this wrong all the time. It's so difficult for a frustrated parent or an educator to give their teens positive praise without slipping in a lecture or a criticism right after that of all the things that they wish they would improve upon. Okay, so where do we get this from? Why do we misuse the strategy? Well, here's my theory. Let's go visit the workplace for a second. You know how sometimes you have those weekly or monthly or quarterly reviews where your manager, your supervisor, they'll bring you into their office, they'll sit you down, and they'll review your performance over the last month or quarter. Well, what they'll do, usually, they'll start it off with maybe 1 or 2 minutes of all the things that you do really well. All of the sales that you make, or the way that you are friendly to the customers that come in the door. Whatever that positive praise is, they'll give it to you for the first couple of minutes. But then, after the first 2 minutes, they'll maybe follow it up with 15 to 20 minutes of all the stuff that you don't want to hear. All the stuff that you did wrong, or all the things that you need to fix or that you could improve upon. So 1 to 2 minutes of positive praise, followed by 10 to 15 minutes of all the stuff that you don't want to hear. The lecture about yourself. Now, I'll let you be the judge on whether that strategy works in the workforce or not, but I will tell you this. That strategy will not work at home with your teens. At least not the way that you want it to. Listen, the last thing that your teenagers want to hear are 1 or 2 points of positive praise followed by a lecture about all the things that they don't do right. What I'm talking about here is building in them a mentality where the only time that they get positive praise and a boost to their self-esteem is when they're going to hear 30 tons of all the criticisms and things that they don't do right. That's what you don't want. Listen, positive praise without criticism is life-altering. What you're really doing here, you're going to be giving them a name to live up to. What they'll start doing is they'll start recognizing the things that make you proud as the caring adult, and they will keep those as hallmarks in their lives. They will take themselves up to that level, and they will never forget it. They'll keep their maturity right there. You're giving them a name to live up to. So the first thing that I want you to do, I want you to make a comment on this video. What are maybe a couple of names that you give your kids to live up to. That's the first thing I want. Second thing, I want you to share this video with someone that you think that it could help. The third and final thing that I want you to do, at the end of this video, I want you to go to my website if you have not already, and I want you to download my 1-hour audio training complete with workbook. It is jaredspeaks.com/product. Listen, at the end of this audio training, I give you a 7-day and a 30-day strategy and assignment to do with you and your teen that is going to fast track your results in this. I'm going to give you conversation starters, all kinds of things that you can do to make sure that the results happen even faster for you and your team. So as I always say, change takes precisely as long as you think it does. So until next time, see you later.